Who are you and what was your role in the Out at Cambridge study?
My name's Heather. I'm the administrator for the LGBTQ plus at CAM programme at Cambridge University. My role in the report was all the administration for it, putting together meetings and helping to hire Elisabeth and getting it designed and produced and getting the event for the launch and just generally being there every step of the way.
What is the strength of the Out at Cambridge study?
I think the strength of a report like this is that it really centres the voices of the minority in question. Obviously, one of the hardest things about being a minority is getting people who are not in your minority to listen to you and to make the changes that they might not see that might be embedded in our society and structure that work against the minority, and they can't see what those changes need to be. And this report doesn't make assumptions, or at least it's tried not to make assumptions. It's listened very carefully to 50 or 60 people and then drawn conclusions where those people have agreed or disagreed. And the participants we had were just so pleased to be listened to, because minorities are so used to not being listened to. And I think that's kind of the strength of a report like this.
Why is the study important?
The report is important, I think, primarily because it tells LGBT staff and students at the university that they're important. I think even if the report didn't conclude anything, and it does, and it's a good report, and we've got some good recommendations out of it, but even if it didn't, I think the fact that we did the report and were able to do a report because we had funding, the fact that the university let us do that tells LGBT people at the university that they are important and that their opinions and problems are important. And it also centres them, hopefully, to the administration of the university, because we made this report and sent it to every college and library and administration centre, telling them that, look, this report exists. These are some opinions and facts we've got from this community at the university about what we're getting right and what we're not getting right. And it really kind of puts this community into those people's hands and eyes, and it forces them to interact more with it. I think before we had sort of community groups, and we were all talking to each other a lot. There's so much queer activity at the university. And there's the university is already doing a lot of great stuff with the staff network and everything, but this really kind of forces the university to interact with our problems in kind of a more tangible way.
Has it made a difference at Cambridge?
I think the difference the report has already made is that we've had some brilliant feedback from people saying they already feel safer and more like a part of their departments and colleges just from seeing this report exist in their common spaces. And I think the difference the report will make is that we've provided a bit of guidance at the end of the report to say some suggestions of what we think the university should do or encourage, or sort of things from the conversations that Elisabeth had with people that they say will make a real difference to them. And it's very slow work, but I think before there was just sort of this vague notion that the community knew, but that we didn't really have evidence for of what things would make it a better space for people. And now we have real in words guidance and evidence for that we can give to the administration. So I think it will make a big difference, but it's quite slow.
What is the impact of the study and the report?
I think the impact of the report so far is that it's enabled us to have more conversations with more people. So we've got programmes from other universities and other institutions that we're talking to that have done similar reports or have done reports in the past that we really admired and sort of drew on to make ours. And I think it's just kind of having something down in words that you can use to communicate better, because change is all about successful communication. The other difference the report makes is it kind of gives more authority to other groups that are also trying to pursue some sort of change at the university. For example, student groups that don't necessarily have an academic behind them, whereas because we are a department that created this report, we kind of have, we shouldn't have, but we have a bit more sort of backing and credibility. And I think the fact that we created the report and the report exists means that other groups can point to it and say, well, look, but there's proof that these things are good or these things are bad and that change needs to happen.